Ground ball. McLean, second. 12 in a row. The oldest team in professional baseball has its 5th ever winning streak of a dozen straight.
Our job every day is to try to kick somebody's ass. I mean, that's why we're here.
That is caught. Left center. Reds win.
And this ball is launched high and very deep to right, long gone. It's second of the night. Ellie De La Cruz.
Short lead for Pena. Larkin drills it. Do you believe this? It's going to be gone. Back to back. Walk-off home runs. How about this? He's back. He's back. He's back.
And a swing and a drive. Deep left field. This one belongs to the Reds. Swung on and hit deep to left field. That ball is going to be gone. Home run. And the Reds put it 5-4.
Goes to second one. Around the first. Got him. Double play. And the Reds sweep the Cubs. Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Way back there. And gone. Into the second deck and left. Christian Encarnacion Strand walks it off.
Karcher does it in his major league debut. He gets the final 3 outs, and the Reds get an extra inning win. A thriller 5-4.
Swung on. Fly ball. Hit to deep right field. That ball is going to be gone. A grand slam home run by Mike Cameron.
2 outs, 2 on. Reds down by 1. Larkin down the line. It's a winner. It's a winner. Here comes Tucker. Here comes Steins. Larkin's won the game. Barry Larkin gets mobbed. Look at this scene. It's synergy.
The stretch, the pause in the pitch, and a line drive, base hit left center field. A single for Aaron Boone, and this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won 8 in a row.
Kobayashi with a long look turns it loose, and Dunn hits it to deep right. It's all over, and this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won their 5th game in a row. They've defeated the Cleveland Indians on an Adam Dunn 3-run home run, 4-2. In on the corners at first and third. 2 on, nobody out. Here's Royce Ring pitching, no bunt. Ground ball by the third baseman into left field. Jay Bruce rounds third, and this one belongs to the Reds.
That's hit pretty good. Guess what? He doesn't need speed. That's gone. He's the king of the Queen City tonight.
With 1 out here in the 11th inning, you sure got to go now.
Swung on, pull down the left field line. That ball is going to get the winning run in. Here comes Jay Bruce rounding third, heading toward the plate, and this one belongs to the Reds.
Huge situation for Votto. Why you paying the big bucks to deliver the goods with 2 outs in the 9th inning? Can he do it? In the gap right center field, and Votto delivers the goods.
Hit deep center field. And Gil going back at the warning track. Oh, he gave one. It's gone. Joey Votto is delivered.
Hello and welcome into the Chatterbox Reds pregame show. Today is Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, and the Reds find themselves in a must-win situation. Taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates, Game 2 of the 3-game series. Disappointing loss last night, 4-2. Brady Singer gives up 7 hits, 4 home runs. The home run by O'Neal Cruz kind of capped it off. Max, what was your takeaways from yesterday's loss?
Yeah, I was in the house yesterday, second game of the year. Second loss I've seen. I haven't seen a win apparently since 2023.
Oh, man.
So that's bad. I'll stay away from the Reds for the rest of the year. Actually, I'm going tomorrow. Never mind. But yeah, it stunk. It was just one bad inning from Singer, and unfortunately, 4 runs sometimes is more than enough to beat this team. You know, Ellie last night was 3 for 3 in a walk, and he was pretty much the offense. Andujar had a hit. Steer, I think, had a hit as well, but that was it. They're gonna need more. They're gonna need more tonight from the offense. But last night, I do want to just touch on the pitching staff real quick. Singer had 1 bad inning. I thought he was fine. Like 4 runs, it happens. And I didn't think he was terrible. Connor Phillips, though, man, that guy, that's a real arm. They got something in Connor Phillips, and they needed an arm to step up, and he's been that guy.
Yeah, Connor Phillips over his last 7 games, 8 2/3 innings, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts, a .46 WHIP, and he's 3-0 in those outings also. So he's redeeming himself after pseudo killing the season back in 2023 in that start against the Cardinals. But he needed a year last year to kind of get his confidence back. I'm sure that outing didn't help his confidence at all, and he goes down last year, really struggles in AAA. They send him all the way down to the complex league to kind of get things figured out. And then, he moves to the bullpen and he's been shoving. You go to his last 15 games, he's got a 3.26 ERA with a .88 WHIP. So he's been doing this for a minute, but he's really been, that's 8 2/3 without allowing a run. So he's been really good.
Just real quick on him. I do wonder if they could have made the call for him earlier in the year. It seemed like he's getting the opportunities that Lyon Richardson was getting, and it was very up and down for Lyon. I think he has a shot of being good. He's got a couple nice pitches, a really nice changeup, but it's just nice to see one of these young arms really step up.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's run through this lineup real fast, and then we'll touch on some key players that we have stat wise.
Yeah, so the Reds, you see it on the screen. TJ Friedel will lead it off. Marte will hit second. Lux will hit third. Same 1, 2, 3 as last night. Steer hits fourth. Ellie hits fifth. Sal Stewart at third tonight, hitting sixth, and then Tyler Stevenson back in the lineup. Will Benson and Matt McLean back down to the 9 hole. I believe he hit 6 yesterday, and that went pretty terribly. I was walking down 4th Street today after work, and I saw him hit into another double play as I was crossing the street. But I'm happy to see Sal Stewart in the lineup. Key Brian Hayes has been brutal for a while now. I'm happy Stevenson's back. I'm happy Benson's in the lineup. I don't agree with the order of the lineup. Tito has changed it from what it was, but I don't understand. Marte hasn't hit well for a while. Lux hasn't been swinging it great. Ellie's hot again, and he's still hitting fifth. I like McLean hitting ninth. That's about the only thing that I wholeheartedly agree on.
Yeah, so TJ Friedel over his last 15 games is batting 179 with the 589 OPS. And then Noelvi Marte's been even worse. He's batting 161 with a 414 OPS. Gavin Lux actually has been pretty decent in his last 7 games. He's batting 316 with an 860 OPS. But prior to the last 15 games, he hasn't been anywhere near as good. I know there was a stretch he was batting below 100 for at least 2 weeks. So it's kind of nice seeing him going, like you said, Ellie. It's good to see him hitting the ball hard and putting the ball over the fence, because, you go 2 months basically without hitting a home run. It's not good, especially when you know that the talent that Ellie has. Let's talk a little bit about what we're all hyped about is this pitching matchup. Presumed front runner of the Cy Young, Paul Skenes, who we think could be giving him a run for his money should he have been healthy all season, in Hunter Greene. What are you most excited about with this matchup? I know Skenes in his last game only pitched 2 1/3. Or no, he went he allowed 7 hits against the Cubs, I believe, right? And Hunter Greene, he shoved his last time out, complete game, 1-hit shutout. But the start before that, he only went 2 1/3 versus the Athletics with 4 walks, 5 hits, and 5 earned runs. So, do you think we're going to get that top of the the best pitchers in baseball tonight, or what are you expecting from the matchup today?
I think we got a great shot of that. Hunter Greene in his career has been awesome against the Pirates. He threw that no-hitter a couple years ago that they lost. And this year he's been great against the Pirates. He just always seems to do well against the Pirates lineup. That doesn't exactly put too much fear in guys, but it's always nice when your pitcher goes out there and shoves against a lineup that he should shove against. So I expect a great start tonight from Hunter Greene. And then Paul Skenes, he had a rough outing last time out, but I think he's either tired or he's going to come out tonight and go like 8 shutout. And I think tonight will be the big tell about where he's at physically. I'm not saying he's hurt or anything, but when you get this late in the year, you're not playing for much. You just kind of wonder. But Paul Skenes knows what the Reds are trying to do. He knows what the Reds' goal is, so he's going to come out, and I expect him to throw the ball well. It's going to be up to the Reds lineup to try and manufacture runs. If Allie's on, for the love of God, please be aggressive. Skenes has picked him off before. I remember it 2 years ago. He's got a really good pickoff move, so it'll be tough. But hey, you gotta try and manufacture runs when you're a team that doesn't hit homers, and we know this team most of the time doesn't hit homers unless Steer gets into one or Marte does. So that's really it. But yeah, I think tonight there's a good shot that we get one of the best pitching matchups of the season.
Yeah, so the last time out for Skenes, he went 3 2/3, allowed 7 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 3 and struck out 6. But his prior 2 starts before that, he's at 11 innings, 4 hits, no runs, and a walk at 8 and 16 strikeouts. So he's obviously front runner for the Cy Young, one of the best, if not the best pitcher in the sport right now. And his pitch mix, he's got that made up pitch, the splinker. Like he's unbelievable, and it's a shame that he's in the division. I think the National League Central has some of the best pitchers in baseball, and we have, I think, 2 of them in Hunter Greene and Andrew Abbott. And kind of going back to last night's game with Brady Singer, he hasn't, his numbers probably look a little, I don't know, better than what you would think. He's 14-11 with a 3.95 ERA, and that's your number 5 starter. So I like Singer as well. Let's talk a little bit about the Pirates lineup. They have O'Neill Cruz at center field, Jared Triolo at third base, Brian Reynolds at right field, Spencer Horowitz playing first base, Andrew McCutchen at DH, Tommy Pham, former beloved Red, at one in left field, Nick Gonzalez at shortstop, Nick York at second base, and Henry Davis. Any of these players that you're looking at today, maybe statistically since against Greene, or just maybe just recent that you're looking at?
I kind of liked, just a real quick aside, I kind of like Tommy Pham as a Red. I kind of like the fire he brought. Honestly, like it was kind of refreshing to see just a guy that everyone hated on the Reds, so that was fun. But I mean, O'Neill Cruz has power in this lineup to go deep. You kind of worry a little bit that Greene's going to throw 100, and if O'Neill Cruz gets a hold of one, it's going to go a long way. He homered last night. But outside of him, Reynolds hasn't had a great year. McCutchen's 42 years old. Tommy Pham isn't. It was hot for a while. I think he's cooled off a little bit, but yeah, I mean, outside of that, not too much fear in this lineup. Nick York's a good young prospect at second. They got him in a trade, so yeah, I mean, it's not the most scary lineup of all time, but they pushed 4 runs across last night, so can't exactly take it for granted, especially when you're fighting for the playoffs here on September 24th. But yeah, I think this is a lineup that Hunter Greene should pitch well against.
Yeah, Tommy Pham in his last 30 games is 19 for 103. That's a 184 batting average. And in his last 7, he's hitless. He's 0 for 22 with 5 walks and 3 strikeouts. So yeah, he's
definitely gonna homer now.
He's cooled down a lot, but active Pirates against Greene. I have O'Neill Cruz is 4 for 14 with 2 home runs. He had that home run, I think, 2 years ago on opening day against Greene. And then Brian Reynolds is 4 for 14 with a double. Andrew McCutchen's 2 for 12. Tommy Pham's 1 for 3. Nick Gonzalez is 2 for 7. And Henry Davis is 0 for 2. Let's talk a little bit about the bullpen. You touched on it earlier with Connor Phillips. We saw Ashcraft and Phillips and Barlow yesterday, and I think they allowed maybe 2 hits the rest of the game after Singer went out. Nick Martinez hasn't pitched since Sunday. Tony Santillan hasn't pitched since Sunday. Emilio Pagan last pitched on Saturday, and Chase Burns threw on Saturday. I would like to see, we didn't really throw out the A bullpen yesterday. It was kind of like the B plus bullpen. What's your pitching path to victory with this bullpen today?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, it's pretty simple. I think Greene goes 7, then you go to Santillan Pagan. But I think there's a chance that, they'll if Greene struggles, I want them to be kind of aggressive with the bullpen, whether that's going to Suter to face Cruz or something like that, go lefty. But I think they'll keep it pretty right-handed out of the pen since, well, there's really only one lefty. So it could go Greene to Burns maybe for 2 innings and then Santillan to Pagan. But if at around 9:30 tonight, I want to be watching Emilio Pagan close out a game.
Yeah,
I think that's however you get there, that has to be the goal. Maybe you see Zach Maxwell for an inning as well. Big Sugar in the 5th or 6th if you need him. But ideally, however you get there, Santillan to Pagan is the way.
Yeah, I feel like, and this is kind of forecasting a little bit, projecting that, let's just say game 162 is the game that's win or go home. And, it doesn't look like they're going to pitch Hunter Greene for the rest of the season, the regular season. But I think there's a chance he could pitch the final game on short rest. Should today go the way you want it to. So let's just say the Reds jump out like 3-0 in like the 5th inning. Maybe you take Greene out in the 5th, and then you go, your A bullpen the whole way, and maybe you throw Nick Martinez, Chase Burns, Santillan, and then you have Pagan in the 9th. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe that's what they do, if they maybe kind of short Greene a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to jeopardize the game. Like if it's close, you want to keep your best pitcher in, and that's Hunter Greene. But if let's just say we can get the Skenes, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they do that, and maybe we can, I don't know, just projecting a little bit, just saying that game 162 is the game that matters obviously the most.
I don't see that happening. If Green's throwing well, say he's through 5 at 70 pitches, I don't see a world where they pull him. I think mentally they think this is the last time he's going to pitch in the regular season. Then you put it on, and then you put him in for game 1 of the wild card series. Ideally, we get there, and if game 162, if that happens, then the Reds will game 162 obviously happen. When it does happen, I think Singer starts, and I think Greene's available out of the bullpen. I think that's how they'll go with that. I think it'll be all hands on deck for game 162 if they need it. It should be, at least. I mean, sometimes this team manages like it's still April, but I think tonight that they'll just let Greene do what he does, and then if game 162 matters, then he'll be available out of the bullpen.
Yeah, there is a slight chance at some weather today. It's not. Last time I checked the radar, it looked pretty clear, but it does have a 23% chance of rain at the ballpark, which, that could play a factor in if there's a rain delay, and depending on what inning it is, and maybe they take the pitchers out early or something. I don't know, but that's something to keep an eye on for sure. And then let's talk a little bit about the playoff chase we got going on. Obviously, we lose yesterday, drop a game in the standings. The New York Mets come back from 7-1 against the Cubs and win that game, and the Diamondbacks walk it off against the Dodgers. Kind of like worst case scenario yesterday, where you lose and the other two teams win. Really got to cheer for the Cubs today. Really got to cheer for the Dodgers today. Yeah, because, I mean, a game back and we own the tiebreakers over both teams, I think, right? I know we do over the Mets for sure.
Yeah.
But it's a brutal stretch that, you're playing a team that you should beat, but they've kind of had our hand the last few seasons. I think we swept them earlier in April, but you really need Hunter Greene to go out there and shove, and you really got to try to get the Skenes. But what are you expecting out of that?
Yeah. What I'm hoping tonight, just real quick on the game tonight, is they don't just try for one run. Like, I don't want a guy on first and they're just bunting. Like, we can't just rely on Greene to just go 9 shutout again. Like, if you got a chance to score more than one run, you take that chance. You always do, but it seems like sometimes we are just the most unaggressive team of all time. I wouldn't say worst case scenario last night because the Giants were eliminated and they held the tiebreaker over us. So I do think it's nice that the Giants are eliminated. They were kind of an afterthought, but it is nice to see them go away. The Cardinals are still fighting, but the Cardinals are dead. They need pretty much everything to go right. So it last night stunk just standings wise, but if the Reds win tonight and the Mets and Diamondbacks lose, then we're right back to where we were. So I'm singing "Go Cubs Go." They're on ESPN tonight, so I'll be locked into that as well. But yeah, this is fun. This is why we watch sports. This is the good stuff.
Yeah, it feels like you mentioned about Hunter Greene. It feels like anytime he pitches, it goes back to last season. There's just no run support for him at all, and it's a shame because with him, it only takes a run or two to win the game. It stinks. Just you want your best pitcher to have the best possible situations, and then like you have an offense that just doesn't, like you said, isn't very aggressive. Let's talk a little bit about some keys to the game. What's something that you're looking out for? Maybe it's something focused on Hunter Greene or somebody in the lineup that's getting hot. Like what's one thing you're keying in on today?
The first time through the order, I want the Reds to really make Skenes work. Late in the year, I wonder how much they'll really push him pitch count wise. I'm sure he's like, give me 110 pitches every game, but I do wonder if they just kind of limit him just a little bit. So I think if they can kind of get that pitch count up, 20 pitches per inning, really make him work, then I think that would be a big plus for the Reds and try and get to that bullpen.
Yeah, I mean that's ideally if you can, like you said, if you can get to the Pirates bullpen, I like our chances. They don't have a really good bullpen outside of their closer. I know they traded some guys at the trade deadline. I want to key in a little bit on Ellie. His last 7 games, he's batting .368, on base at .520, and he's slugging .737 with the 2 home runs. He's walking a lot more too and striking out less. He's got 7 strikeouts and 6 walks. And I noticed, I think we talked a little bit about it pre-show. He's eliminating the leg kick, and I think that's something that Chris Valleca was probably trying to work with him on, maybe to cut down strikeouts. But he was toe tapping earlier in the season. I kind of did a little bit of some film on him earlier. Earlier in the season, he wasn't like tapping his foot; he was kind of like rocking. And then I noticed around July, he was really pronouncing his toe tap a lot more, where he would really tap into it. And then obviously the home run last night, he had that high leg kick that it seems like vintage Ellie that you saw all through the minors and his first 2 seasons. So if Ellie can get hot at this time and we could, get some runs on the board and have our pitching staff really, limit the amount of runs scored, Ellie could single-handedly carry us into the playoffs if he can get hot. So I wanted to key in on that because he has been heating up. I know he has struggled since July 31st, and he only had the I think he had 18 home runs at the All-Star break, and then he had the one on July 31st, and then he didn't homer for almost 2 months. So I wanted to key in on Ellie just for my my key to the game.
If Ellie can get hot, well, he's already hot, but if he can stay hot for the next 5 games, I really like the Reds' chances, especially if they finally move him back up in the order.
Yes.
There's no reason he should be hitting 5th behind Gavin Lux. Like there's just no reason. But hopefully it's just one more day. Yeah, I think the toe tap was kind of used just to make him kind of see the ball, and because that's one thing the Reds right now are just so big on with Valleca is seeing the ball and hitting it the other way. I want Ellie to cut it loose. I don't really care. I don't really want him slapping singles to left field. It's great when it works, but I don't want him up there like, all right, let's slap this over the shortstop's head. Like it's absolutely not what I want him doing. I mean, did you guys see him hit a ball 450 last night or however far it went? Like that ball was mashed. Like that's what I want to see him do. And yeah, Optimistic John says we couldn't hit either bullpen guy last night. Well, that's true, but it's a new day, and let's find a way. Just find a way, Reds. Just find a way.
Yeah, over the course of their season, the Pirates bullpen really hasn't been that great, and their catcher, he's one of the worst rated catchers at throwing out runners. So we need to be aggressive.
Davis stinks.
Yeah, we need to be really aggressive on the base pass when we get on too. Thanks everyone that has tuned in. If you haven't liked the stream already, please like the stream. Historically, likes equals wins. And tonight, post game, Nick and Trace following the game, going live in the 9th inning. Hopefully, a happy Nick and Trace. If you don't have anything else, let's hit it with a Go Reds and let's get out of here. And hopefully, we can get a Reds win.
Go Reds.
Go Reds.